Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 23rd of August, the first important news that is on protecting the biodiversity of the Northeast. This is from the text and context page of the Hindu. Second, that is BRICS, a platform for Global South. Third, Chandrayaan-3 lander all set to touchdown. It's a proud moment for India. Second last, that is Bharat new car assessment program. And the last is an editorial, a strong case to restore section 8(4) of the RPA Act, that is Representation of the People Act. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services or YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do hit that like button. Starting the session, the first news that is on protecting the biodiversity of the Northeast. Something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is Conservation, Environmental Pollutions, Degradation and EIA. So in the recent case of recleaning of the UAM Lake versus the state of Meghalaya, the divisional bench of the Chief Justice of Meghalaya High Court has ordered that in absence of any other employment opportunities and in the name of promoting tourism, the natural beauty cannot be destroyed. Something very, very important in the context where the sustainable development and sustainable environment has been prioritized, right? So UAM Lake की अगर बात करें इसकी अपनी significance, I'll tell you brief about that, right? So Meghalaya High Court was actually hearing a PIL, that is a public interest litigations on cleanliness of the UAM Lake. Now, brief about this particular lake. So it's one of the largest artificial lake in Meghalaya. It's a reservoir which is like 15 kilometers in the north of Shillong in the state of Meghalaya. Recently, the government of Assam and Meghalaya has announced jointly to develop a world-class water sports venue, and it was initially established as a dam or a reservoir for hydroelectricity power generations, but currently it's a popular tourist destinations. And last but not the least, locally it is known as Bara Pani or the large water. Now, biodiversity status की अगर बात करें नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन में, so the northeast is a green belt region due to its abundant natural resources such as oil, natural gases, mineral and fresh water. The Garo, Khasi, Jaintia hills and the Brahmaputra valleys are some of the most important biodiversity hotspots. Northeastern India lie with the ecological part of the ecological fragile, biodiversity rich region, highly prone to climatic changes, located in the transboundary river basin. So this is some of the other part that also we need to consider when we're talking about the northeastern region. Now both flora and fauna has addressed the part of threat due to deforestation, mining, quarrying and shifting cultivations. Now moving ahead with the part of the environmental laws. Considerably large number of environment laws and policies has been deployed in the country, specifically during 1980s. The 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution autonomy to the District Council, it is limited to the authority of the state over the matter pertaining to the jurisdiction of District Council, including the use of the land. So environmental law must be put in place to ensure that the sustainable environment is promoted and practices in large has to be incorporated. Offences related or to against part of the environment has been taken into the shape, and section 268 of the IPC dealing with the pollutions land and water. Now moving ahead with the part of the pressing priority, the center and the state government has to develop the infrastructure, generate revenue, create employment through sustainable policies. The negative list of the Northeastern Industrial Development Scheme is a step in the right direction, and the government should consider the case for creating uniform environmental legislation which cater the environmental issues and the level of governance. So these are some of the priorities that need to be focused by the state government. And in larger context, they have to also consider the view that this is for the betterment of the environment and the citizen of the states. Now, moving ahead, BRICS is a platform for Global South. This is what the Prime Minister has categorically talked about, something important for General Studies Paper 2. That is bilateral regional grouping and agreement involving India and affecting India's interest. So Prime Minister actually was leaving for BRICS Summit, which is scheduled to be held at Johannesburg in South Africa. The name and venue sometime become important for your examination. The Prime Minister has said that BRICS is pursuing a strong cooperation agenda across various sectors and has emerged as a platform for discussing and deliberating the issues of concern for the entire global south. Now, the BRICS grouping has become a platform for discussing the challenges facing the global south, and BRICS has been pursuing a strong cooperations agenda across various sectors. Now, this was the official image that is there released by the part of the BRICS official website, right? So you can just check the part, and there will be other details that will be coming in a day. So 15th BRICS Summit की अगर बात करें, this is the first in-person summit after 2019 COVID-19, because after that there was no summit that was held, right? The presidency of the group consists of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, और rotational basis पे हर एक countries को BRICS की membership की presidency दी जाती है. The president of Russia will take part in the summit via video conference. The Johannesburg meeting is an additional significance. It will discuss the expansion of the group by including countries like Iran, Bangladesh and other developing economies. Now, brief about BRICS, because sometimes it can be relevant for the prelims examination, and even if you're writing in mains, तो आप वहाँ पे highlight कर सकते हैं BRICS के बारे में. It's a group composed of 5 members that I've told you, that Brazil, India, China and South Africa. The part BRICS represent 42% of the world populations along with 27% of the global GDP. The theme for the summit this year is Africa, Partnership for Mutual Acceleration of Growth, Sustainable Development and Inclusive Multilateralism. Those of you who are appearing with PSIR as an optional in civil services examination, उनके लिए ये theme भी जानना काफी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. Now, the other news, Bharat New Car Assessment Program, something important for General Studies Paper 2. That is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. Recently, Union Minister for Road Transport and Highway, that is Mr. Nitin Gadkari, has actually launched the Bharat New Car Assessment Program, better known as Bharat NCAP. Now, Bharat NCAP एक बहुत ही significant step होगी जहाँ पे government is committed to improve the road safety by raising the part of standard for the motor vehicle up to 3.5 tons. Aim क्या है इस scheme की? Through the Bharat NCAP program, it aims to provide tools for the customers, खास करके car customers के लिए, ताकि comparative assessment की जा सके उनके safety को लेकर के. And under the program, the car manufacturers can voluntarily offer the car testing as per the automobile standard, that is AIS 197. Now, based on the performance of the car test, the car will be awarded with a star rating that is called adult occupants and child occupants. I'm not elaborating on that part because that essentially is not relevant for the examination. Now, potential car customers की बात करें, they can refer to these car rating compared to the part of safety standard vehicles in accordance with making purchase decision. Now, कुछ parameters की बात करें for the NCAP, there are 5-star rating that will be assigned to the vehicle based on 3 parameters. First is the adult occupant protection, second will be the child occupant protections, and third, that is safety assist technology present in the car. Accordingly, the star rating will be provided depending upon the star. Total of 5-star rating will be given. Now, what is the significance? If you see Bharat NCAP की अगर बात करें, it is expected to demand for the safer car that will increase, encouraging the part of car manufacturers to comply with the customer needs. Now, with the high safety standard, Indian car will be able to compete better in the global market, increasing export potential and the car manufacturing of India. Now, Bharat Car Assessment Program की अगर बात करें, it is modeled on the Global New Car Assessment Program, a project towards Zero Foundations, which is a UK-based registered charity that promotes universal adaptations or United Nations motor vehicle safety standard worldwide. Now, Other news that is Chandrayaan 3 lander all set to touchdown, a proud moment for all of us. All Indians are really feeling proud with the moment that we are ongoing, right? And today is again something that history will be created. We have all best wishes with ISRO. Something this is important for General Studies paper 3, that is achievement of India in science and technology, Indianization of technology and development of new technology. Now, India is at the cusp of scribbling the part of history. The ISRO ambitious third lunar mission, that is Chandrayaan lander module, is all set to touch the surface on 23rd of August, that is today, by 6:04 to 6:10 between the time that has been given by ISRO. There will be a live telecast. Telecast will also be there, so you can accordingly watch. The LM comprises lander Vikram and the rover Pragyan, that is scheduled to be making the launch in the polar region of the moon, right? Now it is the only fourth country India will become after this launch take place. India will become the fourth country that will be able to do so, and uncharted South Pole Earth only natural satellite. So again, the proud moment, all things that if successfully done will make history for India. Now, this is the timeline. July 14th was the day that it was actually launched. Then orbit raised maneuver around the Earth. From August 1st to 5 started from the Earth to reach out the lunar orbit. These are again the timeline. And today it's powered by the descent starts at 5:45 p.m. touchdown at 6:04 p.m. So this is something very, very important for India. Now about Chandrayaan 3, its follow-up missions, that is Chandrayaan 2, and its objective is to demonstrate safe and soft landing of the lunar surface, roving moon to conduct the in-situ scientific experiment. The 600 crore Chandrayaan mission was launched on July 14 on board LMV LVM Mark 3. This is 41 days Vyog that reach out to the lunar South Pole. The soft landing is being attempted after Russia's Luna 25 craft has crashed into the moon after spinning out of control. So we definitely are on the edging part. And to give you a sense that Russia or Soviet Union earlier, which was known, उन्होंने काफी progress की है, but this time the success was not made. Now, what is the task of the rover that will be there? So the rover, after the soft landing, will ramp up in the lander module and study the surface of the moon. Its payload APX, that is alpha particle X-ray spectrometer, to drive the chemical compositions and intermeteorological compositions to enhance the understanding of the lunar surface. Something that is very important and long pending from many other countries as well. The rover also has payload of the laser-induced breakaway spectrometer to determine the element composition of the lunar soil and the rock around the landing sites. Now moving to the editorial of the day, a strong case to restore section 8.4 of the RP Act, important for General Studies paper 2, that is Parliament and State Legislature functions, conduct of businesses, power and privileges and issues arising from it. So through this article or editorial, we'll see the important aspect. It's talking about the theme. The theme talks about the Representation of People Act 1951. Certain section has been discussed regarding the disqualification under the RP 1951, the concern and the no qualitative changes that has been discussed. Now, just to give you a limelight, the part of the background that is there. So the Representation of People Act 1951 provides that a sitting MP or MLA an additional layer of protections from disqualification in case of he or she is convicted in certain offenses, right? Now, what has happened recently, a senior Congress leader, I'm specifically talking about Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who was disqualified on being convicted and sentenced to 2-year imprisonment in 2019 defamation cases. I'm not concerned on the part of defamation cases to whom it was actually made. You as an aspirant of civil service need to have a neutral view और आपको ये सारी चीजों पे ध्यान देने की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है नहीं. तो defamation case थी, that's it, right? The disqualification was instant because Supreme Court की order थी जहाँ पे लिली थॉमस वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया में बेसिकली सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो राइट्स थे उसको एब्रोगेट किया था और फर्दर इमीडिएट एक्शंस लेने की बात की थी. नाउ थ्रू दिस जजमेंट द कोर्ट हैज इनवैलिडेटेड सेक्शन 8(4) that of the Representation of People Act, which actually allowed 3 months of period within the appeal. तो ये जो आरपीआई एक्ट है, रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल एक्ट के सेक्शन 8(4) के अंदर ये क्लॉज थी कि 3 months की आपको टाइम दी जाएगी कि आप अपील करें and after that that can be there. But Supreme Court ने इस पे stay लगा दिया. I mean they said that it has to be abrogated. इसे further continue नहीं करने की जरूरत है. Right? This was in Lily Thomas versus Union of India. Now disqualifications की अगर बात करें, Section 8(3) qualifies that disqualifies MPs and MLA convicted in jail for 2 or more years, leading to 6-year disqualification after release. Now, convicted individual on the bail will, with pending appeals, are ineligible for contesting the elections. Section 8 allows the conviction legislations to continue if they appeal within 3 months. Right? When Lily Thomas versus Supreme of India in 2013, Supreme Court of India, it declared that Section 8(4) is unconstitutional, underlining the part of the day of convictions. Now, some concerns that is specifically highlighted in the case of Lily Thomas. The judgment can have a payover with the part of the career shifting with the legislator in the country, and instant disqualification की वजह से जो conviction हो रही है उसकी वजह से जो representation है actually that will be impacted, or legislative career without giving a breathing space, because the courts have generally a dialectic system in the dealing with the appeals, revisions, and such part of the things that is there. So we need to understand the practicality of that. Practically हमें देखने की जरूरत है. सिर्फ rules is something that is there, right? But in practical, in part of the implementation, there's some changes and tweak that has to be mandatorily adopted. Now, no qualitative changes की बात की. In fact, the judgment in Lily Thomas, that is something which is there, is any perceptible quantitative changes in the criminal proclivity versus politicians. And politicians belonging to powerful ruling representation of a particular time may be able to get a conviction stayed with few hours, thus saving themselves from instant disqualifications. And in judgment in the Lily Thomas case, which invalidated the part of Section 4, Representation of the People Act, can play a havoc for the career sitting of the legislator. So this is something which definitely need a revision, right? इसमें revision की ज़रूरत है. और आप इसमें mains, both for mains and for prelims, this is important. For mains specifically, it can be asked that how far Lily Thomas cases is justified in the democracy of India, where India is called as the largest democracy in the world. क्या proper representation हो पाएगी या उसे भी कर्ब किया जाता है इस तरह के रूल से? So you have to be thorough with the point, और आपको इस तरह के सवालों के लिए तैयार होना चाहिए. Now moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day, before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option was C. For second option, the correct option was B. Today's MCQ for practice is about the sugar industry in India. India is the largest producer and exporter of sugar in the world. The government has been encouraging sugar mill to divert for ethanol blending. The second question is about the Nobel Prize. The prize is handled with the gold medal and a diploma. Only the Nobel laureates are eligible to submit the nomination for the prize. Sometimes these type of question might be asked in the examination. You need to practice various and different type of question. For more questions, you can refer to our platform, which is there in Instagram and many other platforms. Right? Their questions are published on a daily basis. That will help you to gauge extra knowledge. Right? This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any queries, questions about the courses, admissions, test series, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.